So while we were trying to keep the lights on here at TikTok, the Mississippi House passed a pretty big tax bill. It's called the Build Up Mississippi Act, and here's what's inside. So the bill has two gradual tax eliminations included. There's one that over the next 10 years gets rid of our state income tax, and then there's another one that over the next 10 years brings our grocery tax down to 2.5%. It also adds a couple of taxes to make up for those new deficits that would be caused. So there's a 5% gas tax that gets added. I'm not sure how quickly that one goes into effect. And on the surface, this sounds exciting, like there's a lot of progress that could potentially be made here, but there are a couple things in the fine print that are worth keeping on the radar. Number one is that this bill was introduced by Representative Trey Lamar, so there's instantly a little red flag going off as to whether or not there's millions of dollars hidden in here somewhere for golf courses. There's also a change to how we spend our lottery dollars that's included in this bill. Instead of that $80 million a year going to MDOT to help with our infrastructure, it would instead go to our PERS system, which is the Mississippi State Retirement Program that is woefully underfunded at the moment. Anything over that $80 million would then go to education in the state the way it does now. There's also a big change for counties and cities. Now, if I'm understanding the bill correctly, which is never a guarantee, mind you, it looks as if that new sales tax for groceries, that lower amount, would entirely go to the state instead of being split between the state and local governments the way it is now. In turn, the municipal governments would have the option to raise a 1.5% sales tax on everything else except for groceries in order to make up for that. Now, my initial takeaway on this bill is that it's probably more of like a shell game. I feel like the average Mississippi family is going to wind up paying around the same in taxes at the end of the day, while the wealthier Mississippi families will probably benefit a little bit more and pocket a little bit more money from cutting that income tax. But again, this is just my limited grasp of what's in that bill. It's very confusing to read. There was also one amendment that was introduced that would have taken the grocery tax down immediately instead of over 10 years, but they tabled that one. There's also a concern that we're moving too quickly with this. Mississippi does have a surplus, but we also get billions of dollars from the federal government, and a lot of those programs could very well be going away under the new administration. So as of right now, that bill goes to the Mississippi Senate, and that's where it's sitting right now for them to discuss. Now, they can either reject it, they can approve it as is, they can approve it with some changes, and then they send that version back to the House for final approval. So there's still a chance for some significant changes to happen here. Personally, while I don't see myself benefiting a whole lot financially from the way that these new tax cuts are set up, I am excited about anything that does bring down that grocery tax. So anything that gets us closer to that, I'm okay with.